adding and subtracting decimal fractions. And so there's nothing too hard about this. Very, very simple. Nothing too difficult about this. So we'll just be adding and subtracting decimals. And so what we want to do, we want to revisit what we understand to be place values. And if we know what are place values, then adding and subtracting decimal numbers will not be, decimal fraction will not be of any challenge to us. So let us recap on what we say place value is actually. What is place value? So we know that place value is simply you have a digit, and each digit is in a respective place, and that place has a value. So this is the ones, this is the tens, and if you have a 7, this would be the hundreds. You know that depends on how many digits, it tells us how many place values. But if you were to have like decimals in our digits, we could actually identify the different place values. So if we were to, let us try, we could start from the left or the right, it doesn't matter. If we should start from this, from here, well, this digit will be in the tens. This one be in the ones. This digit will be in what we call the tenths. Well, this will be in the hundredths, and this will be in the thousandths. So if we know the place value and the places that these digits are, when adding and subtracting numbers like these, all we need to do is to place the digit, to group them in such a way that each digit that you're adding or subtracting, they are in line of their respective place value location. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Say I have 3.21, and if I'm adding 2.2, say 0, well, let me just leave that one. So I'm adding a digit that has 2 decimal places and a digit that has only 1. So if I were to add these numbers, what I would do is actually group them in their respective place value order. So since this number is let us write it 3.21, and then we have the next one, 2.2. Now if you should look carefully, go back to here, this digit is in the ones place, this digit is also in the ones place. So what we will do, we arrange them in such a way that they are corresponding in their respective common places. And so if you look here now, this 2 is in the tenths, and this one is also. And so we actually ensure that whatever place, they're actually in the same place. If you should look at the one is in the hundredths place. Well, we don't have a second decimal, but we could actually put a 0 there as a placeholder. It would not change anything. So put a 0 there. And so we can actually go ahead and just add this. So we could add this just as if we had all numbers. So we could say 1 plus 0 gives us what? 0. 4 plus 4, 2 plus 2 gives us 4. And we put back our decimal place there. And we say 3 plus 2 gives us 5. Now we could actually have basically 2 answers. We could say 5.4, or we could say 5.40. So if we put the placeholder there, there's no big deal if we'd actually give this for answer. But any one of them would be the same thing. Let's look at another one. So that's so simple. It doesn't matter if you're adding 2 numbers that have 7 decimal places. Well, and the other one has just 1 decimal place. It doesn't matter how you actually want to solve it. Just do it. Just group them according to their place value location, and that's it. Let's look at another one. If I have 3.22, let's say 1, plus 4, well, 5.22, well, I'm using too many twos, 3. So if I want to add this, I will just simply just do what I just did. But normally I love to put the bigger number at the top. When I'm actually adding these numbers, I love to put the bigger number at the top. But the bigger number, well, when you're adding numbers, it doesn't matter the order in which you change the numbers, you will get the same answer, because the laws of commutative property tells us that when you're adding, it doesn't matter the order. But we to have it more well organized, so you actually can see that the bigger number, well, the small number is adding more to the bigger number. So that kind of idea, which that is what we actually use. It's all about increasing. So if something is increasing, if you have something at the initial in the initial state, when you add something to that, it actually increases. So it is, so having it like that actually gives us a better view of it. So let's look at this. So I put 5, 2, 3, 3.221, and since this one doesn't have 3 decimal places, we could put a 0 there, and we'd say 0 plus 1, give you 1, this is what, 5, 4, and we say 8. And so there you go. We answer for adding those. And if I had, say, 2 plus 3.6.3, and say I'm adding that to 4.888. So we'll just simply arrange it in the same way. So let's say, so we'll say 6.3, 4.888, and so if you realize that the top number does not have so many decimal places as the second one, so we'll just add zeros there, and so we'll go ahead and just work it out. 8 plus 0, 8, 8. This gives us 11. Bring the 1 there and bring that 1 over to the ones column. And so we have 7 plus 4. That will give us 11. And so that's basically it. We can actually look at subtraction in the same breath. So we have 5.21 minus 3.22. We'll do the same thing. We'll say 5.21, and you put the 3, because the 3 and the 5, they're in the ones place. 2, 2, and then we subtract. We say 2 from 1, you can't. You take 1. Well, you take 1, leave 1 there, bring this one. And so we'll get. But if you look at it though, we're going to end up with the same situation if we should go back and subtract this 2 from this one. So what we could do is to let us take 1 from that, bring the 1, and then I would take take 11 there and bring that 1 right there, and so we could actually just subtract now. 9.1. So let's look at this one. If we have 10.332 minus 2.740. So we subtract with the 4 from that. And if we should look at all these numbers, if we should take we can't take 4 from 3. So if we should actually take 1 from that, from this 1, take 1 from that 2, from that 3 actually end up with 2. And so we'll be having the same thing reoccurring. So we just go over to the whole number and just take 1. So leave 9, you leave 1 there, take 1 from there, 12, you bring that 1 right there. Oops, going too far. 1 right there. So when you look at it now, we'll have 4 from 13 give us 9, and that gives us 5 point, say 7. So let's look at the last one. So that's basically uh, the whole idea of subtracting. So let's say we have 11.000, let's say 1 minus say 1.1, and so it actually rewrite them in their respective order. And so you can see that we actually have only one decimal place for this one. So let's add some place values, some placeholders. And so let's go ahead and work this thing out. So we say 0 from 1 gives us back 1, 0 from 0 gives us back 0, 0 from that you can't, so we take 1 from there, leave us with 10, bring that 1 there, this gives us 9 point, and then we have 9. So there you go, adding and subtracting decimal fractions. So all we need to do is to arrange them in their respective place value order. It doesn't matter how many you are adding or subtracting. That's what we always do. As long as you do that, then you have no problem solving decimals like this. So I hope this will be of good use to you, and you'll actually make it fun to solve decimals as these. Have a good day.